Good evening, folks. We are back again. Another WrestlePurists podcast. We're under 90 minutes away from Dynamite. There is a lot to discuss. So much that Scotland said, too much for me. I'm not taking this anymore. But we have a lot to get into. I'm very excited. Expert panel as always, including hopefully the returning Scotland in a second. Manny, I'll start with you. How are you tonight, pal?
Good. I found my hat that I was missing last time.
Good. Much better than the Lakers one. Much better. I like it. Scotland, can you hear us?
Man, I'm good. Every time. It's every single time. Every single time.
I want to see you shine, bro.
Yeah. What's up,
tremendous look. How are you, pal? How you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just here chilling, bro. How are you guys doing tonight?
We're good. We're very excited. I'm good. Manny's good. I haven't asked Monty yet. I'm going to assume. Monty, how are you tonight?
Yeah, man. I'm good. Same old. Nothing too special going on. Been a slow week news-wise. You know, give me a bit of free time.
Free time. Wow, news to me.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, there has been some big news today from a WrestlePurists front, from a late night grin front, from a personal enjoyment front. We're going to get into that as big match announcement for tonight's show. It's going to be quite the scene. We'll get into it, but first, I want to start with our sole, just news story, and I don't know how much we can add to this, to be quite honest with you. But there is a story, Monty. There's the latest of MJF. It's not one that we can kind of add a bunch to, but it's a story. So go ahead.
So there's a report from Fightful Select that basically states that MJF seems pretty interested in trying out Hollywood. So the title of the article is actually AEW Talent believe MJF is interested in pursuing Hollywood. It notes that MJF was not present at the Warner Media Discovery AEW party at the June 1 Dynamite. It mentions something about MJF staying in LA when AEW was in LA and did not travel with AEW out of LA because he wanted to stay around in LA and, talk to a few people, which would make sense with the story, of course. And yeah, pretty much just that, it seems that he's interested in trying out Hollywood basically and making that next step. So, yeah, look, like you said, there isn't really too much to add. It's something that I think he did mention before. The report does mention he mentioned it in the Ariel Helwani interview. Yeah. So, it's kind of something that, it's not too surprising, but it's something, I guess.
It is. Scotland, anything to add on MJF in Hollywood? Hollywood Maxwell is
Hollywood Maxwell.
What do you think?
Is there a new American Pie coming out?
That would be something. You
remember when The Miz became the replacement for John Cena on the Marine? It was straight to DVD. I get that, wrestlers want to try their different hands and they want to become actors and everything, but nah, man, this is not necessary, man. You 26, stay in the game that you're not going to do good in this avenue, man. Just know.
He might. Maybe that's why. Maybe he'll sign a deal with WWE and he'll get immediately cast in Marine 12. Maybe that'll be the deal. It'll be a sweetener. You never know, right? It'll be interesting.
It's terrible, man.
Manny, anything on MJF in Hollywood?
No, not really.
Good answer. I agree.
I was laughing at Cody Wells' post.
What's that?
I was laughing at Cody Wells' post. Oh,
there you go. Yes. Did MJF say that, or was it Max Friedman talking? Is the comment in question?
The lines are blurred at the moment, so fuck knows.
Yeah, and what lines they are. Right?
It's probably worth noting as well that the report does note that MJF had also claimed to have recorded a voiceover for an animated role that comes out next year.
He mentioned that in the Helwani thing, I think, for sure. I seem to remember that being a thing. Remember he said that on the interview, Monty? He was like, I just did some voiceover business.
Well, that much MJF stuff has came out and gone in one ear and out the other. And just
look good for him.
He's the new Cody. With the stories and stuff just coming out all the time. Any movements interesting and noteworthy.
It's going to be annoying every week.
Probably.
Yeah. It is.
No matter how small it is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I can't wait. I can't wait to hear him on the new Scooby-Doo movie. It's going to be great.
He may actually be good at that, honestly. He may be good at that. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out in a couple of years. Let's talk Dynamite, right? Dynamite is very intriguing tonight because it's a very different show. They're in a different situation here, one that is not uncommon in wrestling history, but is new to them. They have some business to handle here with this title. It's slightly confusing how they have handled it, but the actual ultimate thing is not very confusing. So tonight, obviously, Battle Royal, and then the winner of that will face Moxley in the main event. I did a show earlier where I kind of went through a bunch of candidates for this role to face Moxley.
Mm-hmm.
So what I think would be a good way to start this conversation off is just kind of go around the room and get a read on like who you guys are who you'd like to see get that spot, and then maybe who you think will get it. So to be clear, not necessarily beating Moxley, but who do you think is coming out of this Battle Royal tonight that's going to kick off the show? It is a casino Battle Royal, which is different. I'll start with you, Manny. What do you think here of this Battle Royal? Who are you looking towards here?
I see everybody's just focused on the Jokers again, like always.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird. I saw somebody earlier say that what if they bring out Kip Sapien as a Joker, and I got really upset with that. So I hope it's either Ricky Starks or Roosh, because I think if it's Roosh, you kind of see where AEW sees Los Ingobernables right now, where they fit into the promotion, and I think Moxley and Roosh would have a great brawl.
They certainly would. Roosh would be interesting because of all of his many extracurricular activities as a professional wrestler. It'd be interesting to see how he'd approach it. It'd be a nice way to kind of show him some love, but also, he's obviously going to lose to Moxley. So, that'd be interesting. I like it. Scotland, where are you going on this one? Which way would you like to see him go on this Casino Battle Royale?
Personally, I would like to see Ricky Starks as the winner. Yeah. But I feel like the next best choice, and I apologize if I butcher his name, Takeshita, the kid from
Takeshita.
Yes, Takeshita. Yeah. I think he would actually be the perfect opponent because clearly, like, he's been rising his stock a little bit. Like, every match he's had has been a hit, and I think Moxley would be the perfect opponent for him, especially because it seems like he is reaching like a different pace. So I feel like him and Mox would I feel like they would have an excellent match.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Moxley has had great success as of late as the guy that kind of does what you just said about, elevating others. And he did it just last week, right? We were here to preview his match with Garcia, and he certainly elevated Garcia last week. Monty, which way are you leaning on this Battle Royale situation?
I think it will be Jericho who will come out the winner.
It's not a bad pick.
Probably the easiest to... it's kind of the easiest choice for Tony, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because it just you can blend it in very...
the commitment.
I'm not even putting
No, I don't. Just let him enjoy himself in the chat. I mean, I just I admire it. I do. I haven't even seen that be a story today, but that's great stuff.
Imagine if it's just made up.
So anyway, Jericho, when I talk them through, I will say that Jericho is he's probably the one that is the most logical in that it's a big match, but not a match that you want to protect and save for late. You've done it before. They've both been champs before, so it gives it some prestige. It's obviously in storyline for Blackpool Combat Club and all that business that's already going on. Jericho does make a lot of sense, even if it isn't the most outwardly kind of exciting option, if that makes sense. So I don't know, Manny,
it kind of throws out the window. It kind of throws out the window the idea of elevating someone. Who I'd actually want it to be is probably Ricky Starks, to be honest.
Yeah, yes. I wanted to be Ricky, but I kind of feel like that would be like a weird, huge step for him. Yeah. There's no development. It's like there's no development for him. It's just weird that I just see him in there with Moxley. Even though he's been in there with him before in a tag match. Yeah. It doesn't really make sense to me in my head, even though it'd be kind of cool. But even if it's Jericho, wouldn't you want to promote that? I feel like it's a big match you want to promote.
Yeah.
That's the thing. The thing with the Ricky point you make is a good one because I think we think the world of Ricky is talent, but he feels like he needs now some signature singles programs, right? Yeah. He's been on TV, but we haven't seen him have these kind of big time singles programs. Scotland, do you think that's a necessary step here as we kind of look at the development of Ricky? I know you mentioned him, and Ricky's great, but that's one thing that's kind of been lacking from his run so far, these kind of big-time singles feuds. What do you think?
I think with Ricky, they're doing more of a slow build. I know that they see something special in him, and I think in the next 2 to 3 years, Ricky Starks will be a main eventer. But I think I agree with your point that he hasn't had those big matches where like you could really see what he can do, especially against like a big guy like Mox. So I think in this case, him winning the Battle Royal would be like, I feel like all of us, like, it'd be good to see, but at the same time, do you risk him losing to Mox and then kind of slowing his momentum down even more than what it already is?
You'd certainly need a follow-up, right? Manny, go ahead.
So it's weird because like his I think his biggest match was against Hangman, and then in that big match he got hurt, and then just kind of like when he got put in that spot with the big match wrestler, he got hurt in it. So it's like that's my kind of mentality. If you look at Takeshita, even though he's lost all the time, but he's already fit that mode perfectly than what Ricky has. You know, like, I don't know if I'm explaining right, but that's like how I view it.
Well, I think part of it is I remember they booked the Hangman match, and their kind of like on-screen reasoning was it was very simple in terms of two top contenders, right?
Yeah.
And because Ricky got hurt, he was kind of like where Hangman was continuing in one direction, he was kind of taken out of the game for a little bit. So that feels like a distant memory, that match, because there was no follow-up. I mean, I know that Cage did stuff, but for Ricky, he was just watching on. So, no, I get you. It was hard to get his momentum going in that regard. I kind of talked myself into earlier. And I know it's not an obvious pick because it's kind of a weird fit, but talking it through, I think it's a strong option. I really like Keith Lee as an option. I really like him. Keith Lee is a guy who, at this point in his career, I don't think you want to be too patient with. You know, the audience sees him as a big deal already. I don't think you need to protect him forever and ever just because. Him and Moxley is a big-time match that would have some kind of it would pack a punch as a TV main event, but it doesn't feel like something that's going to be coming up in the next 6 months because they're both baby faces. Like, I really kind of talked myself into Keith Lee as a guy who you can remind the audience he's a player in this main event scene. Monty, what do you think of Keith as an option?
Keith, I think that would be a good option. It's a strong option. I think the graphic of Keith Lee versus John Moxley would pop a lot of people. And Keith Lee, every time he's been in the ring, he's got better and better. And this Mox match could be his like real coming out party.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Keith Lee would be a great option. Again, like, even though he's not the youngest or anything, but like you said, there's not really any reason to wait around with Keith Lee. Really, let's get these big matches and make sure he gets them in because, you know, with a big guy like that, with the way he moves, there's probably quite a small window, and he's not getting any younger. So it would pop me definitely. I like the idea of Keith Lee definitely.
That'd be a good test for Keith Lee too. Big test in AEW because I don't think he's had a match longer than 10 minutes. It didn't involve a tag match. So this would be a good place to see where he is physically at the moment too.
And it wouldn't have to be like excessively long either, right? Like they could easily have a 12, 13, 40-minute match that's like packed in fine.
Mox is the new under 15-minute
he's
master.
He's in the
What about
long bloody brawls, and you check the time after, and it's like, oh, that was 11 minutes and 12 seconds, and you're like, what happened?
What about Swerve? I feel like Swerve would be another good a good opponent for him.
Swerve, I don't know if you want to beat Swerve though right away.
This is exactly This is where Swerve's interesting is. Swerve is on fire to me. I think he's really clicked since the Keith Lee team up happened. But I think he's in a weird spot where, while I like him as an option, I think he's the fourth of the guys I'd pick from that feud, if that makes for tonight's role, to be clear. Now, if I was picking him just for a roster, he's a lot higher than that. But I think Hobbs is a better fit for tonight, and the two guys already talked about. As Manny just mentioned, Swerve has been, I'm not saying it's like an emergency situation, but he's been pinned enough that I would be kind of hesitant, you know? Like, I'd be kind of like, let's let Swerve kind of go at his own pace. And I will say, though, I think in terms of pure upside, he's one of their top guys, I think, in terms of who's next, you know?
Yeah. Did you see him at the Marlins game yesterday?
I did not.
He threw out the first pitch.
There you go.
How was it?
Oh, it was pretty good. He actually got it pretty far.
That's always important.
He didn't embarrass himself. Yeah.
That is legitimately important. You do not need Bleacher Report tweeting, this wrestler just made a fool of themselves.
It's pain, bro.
Swerve's really interesting because he's big into the idea of being like more than just one of the guys taking bumps on the card. Like we've had some fun about it before on the Late Night Green when he talks about being a mogul and stuff. And last week's segment was you could tell that was his baby, right? Like that was his thing. But I will say we're through 3 months here of his run. it has allowed him to stand out, even though in terms of booking, he's just kind of being like an upper mid card guy. They haven't protected him crazy amounts or anything.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing pretty well. Monty, where do you stand on Swerve at this point? We're 3 months into his run. I think as of late, he's really, really clicked. What do you think?
Yeah, he's kind of like he's simmering up nicely.
Yeah.
You know, like even though he's took a couple of pins, maybe like 1 or 2, but still he's simmering nicely. He seems like he's being able to do more of the stuff that he wants to. Obviously, he pointed to the stuff he did last week, the backstage promo, and yeah, man, I think like I just said, I think it's just kind of simmering, and it's just the moment. It's just the right moment has to pop up for him, and I don't think it's tonight, but
Right.
eventually at some point, maybe probably this year. Yeah, man, his upside's obviously crazy high ceiling. Yeah, man, I like
Especially
Swerve.
with a potential heel turn, perhaps. Manny, I'm intrigued.
Yeah,
Where are you
that's
at
when he
on?
does his best work. So
Absolutely. Where are you at on Swerve's kind of ceiling on a stacked roster? I think he's increasingly standing out. What do you think?
Well, I feel like with guys like Swerve and Andrade, they're kind of just losing a lot just to show the other wrestlers that have been in AEW longer that they're willing to play ball. So I feel like that's just where most of it is coming from. And then, but I think of all out of the guys they have right now, Swerve is the.
I agree with that comment.
Yes.
Yeah.
there's a lot of Satnam singing in the chat. I'm not even getting it on the screen.
We need
Diego said
Satnam
they should squash him.
Satnam he can throw out Paul Wyatt, right? Let's get Paul in there. Let's get
Paul
Paul
can't. But if Paul, I think this has already been said. But if Paul White is in that battle royal, he has to win it because there's no way he's getting over that top rope.
Just do it off camera, bro. Just do it off camera. Like have him take like a chop and just like step over the top. Anyway, I'm sorry, Manny. Carry on with your.
That put me like I didn't even know how to respond to that when I saw that comment. I was just like, but we're talking about Swerve, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, I just feel like he has like the biggest upside out of everybody, out of the younger guys that they have.
Yeah.
And I feel like he could just transcend wrestling as a whole. With like, there's only like it's just Jade, him, maybe MJF, and
short list, right? We're going to talk about a couple of guys in this regard later. There's a lot of great wrestlers on the roster, but there's a much shorter list of guys you think could transcend the industry. Scotland, I'm intrigued.
I actually wanted Tanahashi versus Dustin Rhodes on a Road 2 show to the Forbidden Door, but
maybe. It'll be.
How long do you think it would take them both to get color in this match?
2 minutes.
Yeah, probably.
About 80 seconds.
Moxley's effort last week. He did an incredible effort last week. He was bleeding with 90 seconds. It was unbelievable.
No, they both come out of the tunnel bleeding.
Yeah, tremendous. Scotland, where are you at on Swerve's kind of ceiling in AEW?
I think that comment. Sorry. No, I think Swerve is. I think Swerve is going to be a major player for AEW. I think in the current frame, right? I think I would love to see him go for the TNT title because I would love to see him just have like weekly challenges and everything. But it would be foolish if AEW didn't at least like, showcase Swerve in like a big singles match, whether it be tonight, whether it be 6 months from now. Like, I think Swerve can easily be either in the top 5 for major players in AEW, just the way that he's moving. You know what I mean?
Yes, he's very different in his offense, and he has in a kind of promotion pack with great athletes. That's not the kind of lane I'm putting it. He's unique, more unique than that, right? Like he does the athletic spots and the crazy flips, but he adds a certain kind of flavor.
Weird way of moving.
Yeah, man. I have still not figured out how to describe it without sounding insulting, but I promise I mean it as a compliment. Like he's just different, man.
It feels like he's freestyling out there.
Yes, exactly.
So if I can make a quick comparison, like to me, he reminds me of when Too Cold Scorpio debuted in WCW. So for like a lot of younger fans, like they didn't get to see what like Scorpio was so different than what they were used to. And it was kind of confusing to some people that just weren't, that understood that culture like that. So I feel like Swerve is like a modern day Scorpio in the sense that like the way he moves, the way his flashes, he's just very like a dynamic character, not a wrestler, a dynamic character.
Scorpio is such an interesting. I mean, we'll get back on Dynamite in a second, but I know he's right feature too. I remember that was one of the ones you sent as a sample, right? Was that Wrestle In? Which site was that?
Wrestling, yes, sir.
There you go. Everyone go check that out because it's great. But people will never quite appreciate like how insane his offense was on 1992 WCW. Like, it's outrageous. He was in 450s on that show.
So it's funny because if you go back and watch his debut, which was like a November Clash of the Champions, and they never announced him by name. So like he was teaming with Ron Simmons. Ron Simmons was the world champion, and he did the 450. And when he did the 450, there's two things that stand out. First, the crowd, the way that the crowd jumped up, because they were like, "Yo, what is this?" But I think it was the referee. The referee was like, "Yo, what just happened?" And I think,
insane.
And like I said, man, like you just never saw that in 1992 wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Scorpio, that's my guy. That is my guy.
It's incredible because it's like WCW is still very much Southern wrestling in that stretch, and guys are having like meat and potatoes matches, and like I love that style, but they ain't doing 450. But yeah, anyway, everyone go watch some Too Cold. So, anyways, back to Dynamite. Do we all think Moxley's winning this whole thing tonight? I mean, obviously it isn't the belt; it's to go on to face. I think it's got to be Moxley. Manny, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean they've been trying to do the Tanahashi Mox match for 2 years now, and every time they try doing the match, something always happens. So. I think this is where it happens, and I kind of hope Tanahashi wins.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about
versus
that.
Marina. Has that
yes.
been announced by?
Yeah,
I think it was
hyped
before they did like a promo before we went on. That's a fun one. We'll talk about that in a second. Monty, what do you think? Mox leaving as the winner tonight?
Yeah, it just makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Again, this is something I'm probably just regurgitating from somewhere else, but you know, when this sort of stuff happens, you fall back on your ace, and to me. Moxley is that guy, to be honest. Especially in the AEW with no Punk or Omega. Yeah, man. Moxley's safe hands. The Tanahashi makes sense. As Manny said, they've been trying to do that for a minute. It was quite weird to see Tanahashi come out when Punk did the news call out, to be honest. It was like, whoa, I thought we was getting Tana versus Mox. But, you know, yeah.
Moxley.
That's kind of where Moxley feels like he's just safe hands in terms of the interim. Then, of course, like I just said, it makes like storyline sense as well because Moxley's been, he's been gunning for Tanahashi for a minute. So,
absolutely, Scotland. What do you think, Moxley?
Oh yeah, it's definitely Moxley. My only gripe with this battle royal is, and the way that this night is going, and I know everything was short notice, but that that Moxley is going to win. Ultimately, no matter who wins the battle royal, Moxley's going to win. I think if they had the time allotted, I think the perfect scenario would have been Mox versus Hangman. 20 minutes, because at least at that point, you don't know who's going to win, right? But
I agree.
Yeah, so I feel like in this case, it's like I said, the battle royal is going to be great. Whoever wrestles Mox is going to be a good match, but you already know the outcome. Personally, I want Goto to win the whole thing, but that's just me.
I kind of hope that Goto gets sent to AEW because I feel like he's so underutilized in New Japan.
He's a hell of a wrestler, man. He really is, right?
They treat him like he's washed already. They treat him like he's Kojima or something.
Oh,
the narrative around him is like his character. His story was he was just like a loser for years. he just lost all the time, and they dunked on him for it. It was interesting. I kind of wish that was a gauntlet match with like the top 5, but I know that you can't pin the top. It's the whole thing. And Wardlow, I get Wardlow. That'd be difficult, but I don't know. I think that'd be compelling. But I think what we've got is cool. Any read on a potential Joker? Manny, do you think we're going to get any surprise? Not? Or you think maybe is that the spot for Roosh? Maybe. What do you think?
Yeah, Roosh in it because I saw somebody in one of my other group chats said that Andrade's back in the States. Right. So it's like, well, maybe Andrade could be the Joker or even Orange Cassidy, which I don't want to see either. I just feel like Orange Cassidy and Jon Moxley just such a weird match for the title.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it would be good, but I don't know. Maybe it's Edge.
I think there you go. I think Orange is a dark horse, I must say, because I mentioned this earlier. He and Moxley was the semi-final match that fell through, right? When Mox, had to do more important things. That was a match that was set for the semi-final of the World Title Tournament, right? Miro took his place. I do think there's a chance. I'm almost certain Tony Khan remembers that, so I think there's a chance he's the dark horse here. Scotland, any read on the potential Joker?
I should have watched it.
No, I can see that it maybe being like Jeff Cobb. You know what I mean? Like I'm keeping my expectations low. Obviously, me personally, I think Cesaro would be awesome, but I'm also being realistic. So, you do one of the guys from New Japan Strong, like a Jeff Cobb. I think also you could do. It's kind of hard to get a read on who exactly it would be, other than somebody from New Japan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a weird one. They haven't, to be absolutely clear here, they haven't re-promoted this element. Do we have news?
New Japan. I think New Japan is recording a show this Saturday.
Oh,
I don't know. But then, so they announced like a match. It's Toro. It's like, so I guess these are people in the United States right now. Ishii's in the States, and then Jay White's in the States too. And
that could be the Joker.
Jay White would be perfect.
I feel like they'd hype it a bit more.
When's Dominion though? When's Dominion's?
The 12th. Yeah, the 12th.
They got to be. I don't know what
the match is Ishii, Rocky Romero, Chuck Taylor, Mascara de Ora, Ren Narita versus Jay White, Juice Robinson, Carl Anderson, Dog Gallows, and Hikuleo.
When is this?
It's Saturday.
You just said it right there, Ren Narita. That's perfect.
There you go. Yeah, I don't know, because I know they got Dominion to do on Sunday, so I don't know how that's all figuring out. Monty, any read on the Joker?
It'll probably just be. It'll be someone that will get a pop, obviously, but I don't think it'll be, Cesaro or a Gargano or anybody like that, because I feel like Tony would have hyped it a lot more, because that's how he does these things. But it would be cool if it was somebody like that and he downplayed it like this.
It'd be wild, honestly. It'd be crazy out of character for him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It'd be something different. So.
It's going to be Kip Sabian, right?
Oh, God.
It's going to be Kip Sabian. He hasn't said anything about it. Like, that's the spot.
I think there is a really good chance it's Rouge. Orange Cassidy is obviously an interesting choice.
Yeah, I think Orange is very likely.
It definitely isn't Kenny Omega.
No.
That
dude needs time.
He's getting a good amount of injections and stuff still now.
God bless him.
God bless him, man.
It'll be interesting. I'm
Would
excited
it be
to see
Okada?
what
I don't see it being Okada. Wyndham, no. Sting.
Sting versus John Moxley.
Sting and Mox have a bloodbath in the main.
Oh, that match would go hard though. That would be.
I know. It's like kind of like the Dustin match, like it would go hard.
In fact, just have Sting win. That's everything.
Beef. Someone said Beef. Beef would be cool. That'd be
awesome.
Beef would be really cool. Beef. Who else we got?
We got to remember tonight's the finals too. Finals and it's one of the games for the NHL. So I don't know if they're going to want to put a big match.
My God, have the finals started? Is that now?
Yes.
No, I think it started.
What, the NBA finals?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I think it starts during Dynamite.
Oh, it starts at comes on at 9 Eastern.
All right, good.
So they got that first hour.
If I'm sitting here talking about Kip Sabian, I don't get paid that well around here. No, I'm just playing. All right, let's move on to what is the promotional thumbnail of this. When we were tweeting out many links, the Australian Nightmare, Buddy Matthews, is in action. Finally, a singles match in AEW. He has taken on Pac in an outrageous combination of physical specimens. I am very excited. 205 Live lives. Monty, I'll go to you first, because I know you're very excited too. What a time, pal.
We've won.
Yeah, we
did it. We did it.
Pulled it off.
It's been long. It was long. It was a long journey.
It really was.
Especially as a a clear, huge Bud Matt fan.
Yeah.
He was out there. He was out there in the wilderness of free agency. There was even MLW graphics at one point. It was a very scary time. And, he showing up one day when the lights went out. It was a great day. Twitter exploded, especially on our side, especially on Joe's side. Play off of months of hard work, of promotion, trying to get Buddy Matthews a good role in AEW. A lot of Australian flags.
There you go.
Still repping. And and obviously he got put into a law stable. Maybe not what we would have liked to have done with him. We would have put the world title on him, but
Factual.
There's a reason why we don't have the pen and Tony does.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't get the singles matches. And even though we had our guy on TV and it was good to see him, we didn't get the singles matches that we quite wanted. And now he goes against the Bastard Pack in a what will be an epic clash of the bodies.
Yeah.
Clash of explosivity. Clash of athleticism.
Neck bumps.
A true, as Joe said,
Neck
a true
bumps.
clash of the titans, of two of the best wrestlers in the world.
Yeah. Well, when you put it that way, it sounds pretty exciting. Bud Matt was released on June 2nd, 2021. A fucking year of this, man. It was a year. He did a job to TJP and MLW Fusion. It's one of the darkest days of my life. I didn't think we were going to make it out of this, but we got there. Manny, I know you were along for much of the ride on this. What a time, pal. We did it.
205 lives on in a different promotion.
Yep.
The two best modern day cruiserweights are coming head to head, and it's funny because it's in a different promotion. And then out of the ashes, the Phoenix rises. These guys are coming for awesome encounter. I can't wait to see who takes like a Poison Rana on an apron. I think that might happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just I'm just so pumped for this match.
This is going to be such a great meathead match in all seriousness. They're going to do so many cool, just violent things to each other.
The most shredded guys in AEW are coming face to face.
There you go.
How could I forget that?
12-hour stream.
So for those of you who don't know, because Joe is a very good person with a kind heart, to celebrate the signing of Buddy Matthews joining AEW, this isn't a bit either. Like, he did a 12-hour charity stream, and there was a lot of pop and raised some good money, and it all went to a good cause. And I hope Buddy Matthews got that knows about this, but if he doesn't, that makes it even better.
He almost certainly doesn't. That's the funniest part.
So God bless.
Yeah.
God bless. Thank you, Bud Matt.
In my head, the lore is that every time Tony Khan sees a wrestler that he likes and wants to sign him, he kind of waits for him to sign with MLW or do a show and just takes them from him. He did that with Bobby Fish. No, he did that with MJF. He did that with Bobby Fish, and now he did it with Buddy Matthews.
Bobby Fish was an incredible one. Scotland, I understand you may be slightly thrown off by our almost Stan-like behaviour here on this program. I do apologise. You're a professional, but are you excited also?
Let me explain to you something, my brothers. So my plans this evening, I was not going to watch Dynamite. I was going to get caught up on Love Island. You know what I mean? I was going to get my I was going to get my hair done. I was going to have just a nice relaxing night. And then I saw the graphic because, somebody sent it to me. And then when I tell you tears welled up in my eyes, and that cry probably lasted about 20 minutes because I realized that the Ghost of 205 Live was coming back with a vengeance. Mm-hmm. And we were going to see a Dragon Gate style match with
beautiful.
It's gorgeous, man. Like I'm beaming with joy. The only reason why I'm watching Dynamite is because of this match right here. We talk love over here about Bud Math. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And look, I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I think I appreciate you brought up Pac. It's good you brought up Pac because he's pretty good. Right, good for Pac, and it's always good to see him. And that, but if he's watching the show, I hope he knows he's fucked tonight. It's over, isn't it? I don't care who's going up in this match. It doesn't matter to me. I just hope Pac has a mouthpiece in. He's going to get kneed in the face approximately 12 times tonight. Clean. There is no time for pulling punches, let alone shoot knees, all right? This is AEW Dynamite, brother. I've seen how that dude works Fusion. What the fuck he's going to do tonight?
I saw what he done. I saw what he done to those young lions on New Japan Strong, bro. He's like a caged animal.
I'm calling it now. It's going to be better than Omega Pac, the 2 out of 3 falls.
Oh, God.
Well, hopefully
I hope he gets time, in all seriousness, right? I hope he gets time.
Hopefully he doesn't come out to the downstroke music.
Listen, they need 12. Give them 12 minutes.
I actually agree.
Give them 2.
They're so explosive.
Yeah, just
yeah.
So
I think what they would do if Tony just said to them, right, you got 12 minutes, just pack it with shit.
Yeah. I can think of Poison Rana. Back to that. Yeah.
I really hope he comes out to that downstraight music because it'd be like such a funny like I don't know.
What if he's just not spooky at all when he's a singles wrestler? He's just like a normal dude. He comes out, he's like these little kick pads and shit. Doesn't do anything spooky. That'd be fun, right? Yeah, it'll be a blast. In all seriousness, there's not a lot of analysis here. It's a chance to give Pac a win, we assume, but it's just fucking awesome. This is perfect TV wrestling. Go ahead, Scott.
I was gonna say I actually wouldn't give Pac the win here. I think I would give it to Buddy. I think this will be like it kind of reminds me of when Buddy wrestled Roman Reigns. Like it was a standout moment for him, and I think in this match it'll be a standout moment for him.
I'm with you. I mean, if I had the pencil, Buddy would have been the world champion about 6 months ago. But I think Pac is he's somewhat protective of his win-loss record. I think he's gonna be winning tonight. You know, he's gonna get that back. So honestly, I mean, I genuinely do not care. It's gonna
as long as they matches.
I'll be real with you. As long as they get 8, we're gonna be cool because they're fucking nuts. These guys are lunatics. All right. Anyway. Let's talk Hangman. Hangman, his first appearance since losing the title. He's in action against David Finlay Jr. Not the most blockbuster crossover matchup, but I think it'll be good. What do we think's happening with Hangman tonight, Manny? What do you think of the match, and what do you think maybe we're going to get a direction? Where are you at on Hangman moving forward?
I think he's just going to end up going back with the Elite and stuff. Yeah. I think that's where his direction's going. He's going to try to make up with the Dark Order or whatever's left of the Dark Order. He's going to... Yeah, I think he's just going to reconnect with it. Yeah. And then the David Finlay match, I don't know. I haven't seen David Finlay wrestle in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. He's just going to get hit with a lariat. That's all I just want to see.
Yeah, I think it would be good. He's not the most exciting kind of guy for this, but I don't think it's supposed to be, right? It's just a match, right? So
I thought he was supposed to be at NXT by now, but I guess it's not worked out for him yet.
Yeah, that was the belief, right? Was that he was wrapping up. Yeah, it'll be interesting.
I'd just like to take a few seconds to remind Tope Suicida that
he's a piece of shit. Don't mess around with him.
that our good friend Bud Matt, fan of the channel, good friend of ours. His breakout moment was in fact in his home country in front of around 60,000 fans, where the place completely blew the roof off for him when he won the WWE Cruiserweight title. So,
yeah. That's a good point. I like that point. You know, you said 60,000. Have you heard the rumors about that? Apparently, there was actually like 150,000. I heard 150.
Oh, Bud wants a draw, man.
They struggle to count them, man. There's so many of them.
I'm expecting a 1.4 tonight as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to be a hell of a time. That viewership, you're right. I didn't even think of that. If this number goes up at all, like
you know what the funny thing is, because of the AEW audience, like there probably will be a spike for this match, and we're gonna milk it so much.
This is where this game is the best, because if that number goes down, I will not say anything about it, and none of us should. We should ignore it. If that quarter hour goes up, I mean like a tick. Fuck, man, we're rolling at that point. That's tremendous stuff.
The funny thing about that match too is like I was asleep and I got like a couple messages about it. I turned over, I look at my phone, instantly awake. I started pacing around my house. I got up. I started playing with my dogs. Yeah. I was just ready to go, and I just been patiently waiting for it the whole day.
Kind of thing that makes someone stand up and say professional wrestling is back, right? That's generally what you say when you see this kind of news. So hopefully it's great. If not, this is going to be one of the funniest podcasts ever, because the match just somehow sucks. Then we'd have made quite the move here tonight. I would ask Monty to delete the evidence.
I don't want to believe it. I honestly, I've seen that 6 man and them all work together.
It's gonna be.
I can't see it be anything.
At worst, it will just be good. Like, genuinely. Yeah. It won't fall below that. I think maybe there's a chance it is not, like, depending on circumstance, maybe it isn't great, but I would assume it probably will be.
I can't
see it. I can't see it.
Yeah, I get you.
The moves that they do, like, it don't make, like, they'd have to do something completely different, like, for them to mess it up.
I also said that about Okada match too, and I was disappointed.
And that's like...
because we spoke... I can't remember who I was speaking to about this, but that Okada performance was like... It was just there, like...
Yeah,
it's just like he didn't know who Bud Matt was. It was fucking.
I will say, Buddy is one of those guys who will like adjust to what his role is. And if he feels like he needs to be a heel tonight in a kind of traditional sense, he'll work more traditionally than we've seen him work in the past on 205. You go through his career, he's always done that. Mm-hmm. So there's a chance rather than doing like a full sprint, he more firmly takes that side of things, and it's like more steady than spectacular, if that makes sense. It'll still be good because they're fucking great wrestlers, but that's what I mean. I mean, Buddy's he's really interesting in that regard. He's kind of, I don't think he gets enough credit for that. Like if you look at when he was on the main roster as a heel, unless it was a particular spot, he would wrestle as like an old school heel. When he was on 205 Live as a heel, he was wrestling as fucking Kenny Omega. So he's, it depends on the set. I think you're going to get the latter tonight because it's a match with Pac on TV, but we'll see.
I already have a 4.5 star rating in my drafts already.
In the spreadsheets? Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. There you go. All right.
This is going to get a disgusting high rating on the
purist thing.
And
then you'll
the
tweet
most prestigious ratings in
you'll tweet it on Friday morning and be like, WrestlePurists contribute star ratings, and 10 people reply, wow, Dave's really lost his mind, give him 5 stars to this Buddy Matthews match. Really glad to have those tweets in my mentions,
Oh, I can't wait. They're my favourite part.
When you tweeted the link for this podcast, right? Monty tweeted the graphic of like tonight's tournament. It's kind of a tournament, right? And someone replied, "This is bullshit. Why is Tony Khan doing all this?" And I was like, "Why the fuck are you tweeting us about it, man? I don't know."
Bro, I can't even tell you how much I get that on the Purist.
Can I say something about that tournament real quick? I saw I tweeted out saying that because I don't know if Rampage is going to be recorded or not the week of, or when it is. I said that I hope that they put Tanahashi and Goto on the show, like since it's already recorded. Just like go to it, and then I tweeted that out, and people were getting upset with me, saying that doesn't make any sense. Why would they do that? And I said, "What do you mean it doesn't make any sense? Both guys are wrestling on the show."
People are so aggressive with like coming at me. Like it's like they can't just be like, "I don't agree" or "I wouldn't like that." It has to be like, "That makes no sense. You fucking mark. You lose that own."
They said subscribe to New Japan World. I said, what?
Look, my
bro, that shit with Hangman earlier, with not Hangman Adam Page, Hollywood, Hangman Adam Pierce or whatever the fuck he calls himself, at back of Hangman.
My man said one nice thing about John Cena.
Bro, he said something nice on John Cena. People came in like it was so crazy.
I think somebody was like, "But I bet you if this was CM Punk, it'd be majestic." And I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
I mean, we do love a bit of Phil Brooks.
Yeah, the best thing about is like if you pitch something AEW, the same people that bury it, if AEW did the exact thing you just explained and you critiqued it, they would defend it.
Absolutely.
It's the same people. It fucking rules. Yeah, I agree with Jordan. Have you heard about this? This has been exposed. Monty, you should probably deal with this about Backup Hangman. This is out there.
Well,
I don't even know.
I have we have a meeting scheduled.
Am I invited to this, or is this too secret?
I mean, it's probably gonna have to be a one-on-one.
Damn, I was gonna say, dang.
He may be fined. He may be suspended. He may get a new contract.
You know what you should do? You should give him an Impact Plus subscription and make him the exclusive cover of such the product. Or MLW. Do they have a streaming service yet?
No.
No, they shouldn't.
They're on YouTube. What do you mean?
You said there's no news. They're in talks with major broadcasters. I don't know if you heard that, Mommy. That's the news. Have you heard that?
That's evergreen.
Well, savvy.
Court Power's always in talks, bro.
New talks, man. Get ready for it.
All jokes aside, God bless.
Yes.
There was a point where I did watch MLW weekly. It was in a pre-AEW time when, that's all you need to say.
I was gonna say, I feel like I'm the only one that actively watches MLW.
No, I mean,
how's Hammerstone getting on?
Who?
Hammerstone.
I like Hammerstone.
That Bandito match.
Yeah, that.
MLW is actually quite good. The only problem is I tweeted a very funny joke about them being on Amazon Prime and Court Bauer blocked me, so I no longer talk about them.
Did you know?
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, there's a AAA tournament now, and the first match is Bandito versus Chris Daniels.
I saw that. Yeah.
Did you see?
Daniels is working again, man.
One of the matches popped me huge. Like I think it was like Jack Cartwheel versus Dragon Lee or
Dude, do you remember
something crazy
was
like
it Triple
that.
Mania when they booked Bobby Fish? What was the
Yeah.
big show? Bobby
I
Fish
love
got
Triple. I actually love Triple A. I really
So-
do.
and
Like,
so
when
chaotic.
crazy.
I only watch the pay-per-views, but like when
It
they
was so
do, it
crazy
was
'cause
so
Bobby Fish was over,
chaotic
too.
and yeah.
Did you hear the fans scream when Bobby Fish came out? They lost their minds for Bobby Fish.
I love it.
I mean, it's not every day that you get to see a 108-year-old veteran make his presence known.
Yeah, he's right. He's absolutely correct. Former NWA World's Champion.
Absolutely.
Factual.
Yeah.
He's the one that
40 years.
trained
He did
Luthez.
contain
Yeah,
Teddy. He did contain Teddy Hart. So sorry to hear that, but this was.
MLW.
It was good. It was good stuff. It was good stuff.
Yeah,
That
it's
time,
fine.
that time in particular was good. Because that was when Jacob Fatu was just about to win the title as well.
Oh yeah,
and he's
special. Yeah,
I'd have him anywhere.
yeah, he's good.
New Japan, AEW, WWE.
We're talking about before. Colt is a good wrestling mind. In all seriousness, Colt is good at what he does. It's just the other stuff that comes with Colt.
He's just a promoter, so he's full of shit. And I do not hold that against him.
I think he may take that. He may stretch that to its limits. I think a little bit.
It's promoters, man.
He's had more negotiations.
Boxing, MMA.
Brother,
all full of shit, bro.
He has had more negotiations than there are TV networks at this point. That dude's he's gone too far. But it's fine. Anyway, Monty, do you have anything about Hangman? Not the one that you're gonna have a meeting with about him being a shill. I mean, the cowboy, cowboy shit and all that stuff. Anything on his match with Finlay tonight?
Not particularly. I think it'll be a pretty good match. I actually like Finlay in ring, to be honest. I don't know. Jordan, we might have to ban Jordan from the chat. And it's the only way we can not get blocked by Scott D'Amore for these stray shots that Impact catching in the chat right now.
Bobby Fish trained the original La Parco.
There you go. Yeah. Anyway, anything on Finlay? There you go. All right. Well, hopefully Hangman has some sort of, hopefully has some sort of promo tonight, and we'll see where Hangman's going. Now, as we said, it's been announced that Thunder Rosa is wrestling Marina Shafir. I believe this is a title match, right? I think this is open.
Oh yeah, I believe so.
Open contract title. So, I hope you guys saw last night on Dark, Marina and Sky Blue had a match that was like so much better than their TV match. It didn't feel like it was the same two wrestlers. It was kind of nuts how much better it was because their TV match was, it was struggle.
Yeah, died a quiet death.
Yeah, they had a strong match.
That's what happened out there, unfortunately.
I think this is a pretty good stylistic fit where they should really better go and beat the shit out of each other. I don't know, Manny. What do you think of this one? Thunder Rosa and Marina Shafir. Where are you at on this one?
I think it's just there to fill up TV time.
Yeah. Get Rosa back on too and kind of.
Yeah, just to make Rosa happy too. I feel like just. Was
it Chris or Rob who called it in the group chat earlier that we were in?
No, I didn't see.
I said Tony Khan's just going to give Thunder. Like when we was running down the card, we listed the matches that had already been announced. Like just after Buddy versus Pat got announced. And obviously there wasn't a women's match, and obviously, in the chat they were like, okay, so there's obviously going to be a women's match added. Someone was like, Tony's probably just going to give Thunder Rosa like a match to just be like, here, like, there's a match sort of thing.
At least this is like kind of a real one though. Like this isn't like going to be a squash over. They're going to have a genuine match, I would imagine. I'm not saying it'll be like 20 minutes long, but it'll be a thing,
less
right?
than 10 minutes.
I think it'll be. I would imagine it'll be around 8 minutes long. Would be my personal guess, I think it could be good. I mean, Thunder Rosa had one MMA fight, right?
Marina's number 5 in the rankings.
She's only lost to Jade. I'd imagine they're going to do some cool fucking shoot fight and stuff and have some fun. I think it could be. I think it'd be fun. Scotland, where are you at on this one, pal?
It is what it is, isn't it?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's no disrespect to Thunder Rosa. I'm very intrigued, and I think more people should pay attention to it, is the placement of this match. Because if they do it within the 8 to 9 hour, then, obviously everything's good. But if
it's going on before the main event, that's
where
it's coming, bro. Like that's where it's
and that's what I'm saying. Like, if the finals start at 9, people are gonna turn away from AEW to go. So if they put that match in the 9 o'clock hour, that tells me everything I need to know about what they think about Thunder Rosa's title run. And I think they're in that weird state where they're like, I feel like they're gonna give the belt back to Britt in a couple weeks.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Me too.
Yeah.
That'd be an interesting down to it.
Oh man, I can't wait.
I'd enjoy the discourse coming out.
Yeah, I mean, I made it.
that
I
man.
always
You
made
piece of
It's
shit.
gonna be.
I love chaos on Twitter, to be honest. Like that, the whole Cody stuff over the weekend was like just art.
I always like make threats about Britt, and they get like it's weird because you have so many people that don't like her, and then once like I say something like how she's bad and like she's bad for the division, everybody comes in trying to protect her. Like, no, she's not. And I'm like, who she helped win? And like, well, somebody said, well, you know, Rosa, she got Rosa over.
No,
like, Rosa was already over. Before
No.
she wrestled her. And then when she won, she just disappeared. And then if you look at it, even if you look at the promotional stuff that they do on TV, on the further to the new where they're going to new cities, Rosa's not even on the billboards. It's just Britt Baker and Jade.
Yeah, I think I understand why people are protective of the product they like and stuff, but I think objectively, Thunder Rosa's presence on TV has been disappointing since winning the belt, right? Like, it's so minimal. I think there's something to the idea that they struggle with that in general in terms of keeping champs like visible, because you can't just book them in matches just because a lot of the time. Obviously, tonight they're doing that, but it's a title match. It's cool.
Yeah, man. You can't just give someone a title and just be like, okay, they're fine now. And that's what it kind of feels like with Thunder Rosa. Like, she's just been given a title. It's like, okay, she's cool now. And it's
this
like,
is
no,
better, right? Like tonight, what they're doing tonight is better. It's just a title match.
it's a step.
And what I mean, I don't mean better in terms of progress tradition. I mean better if you're booking Thunder Rosa. Is she not better to just do one of these matches a week for the title? Like, I hate how protective everyone is of title matches. Like, you can only do them like once a month. It's like, fuck it, man. Just do these matches. Like,
yeah, man.
If it's good, you can go back to it. It's I don't know. That's just me.
My thing.
I just want Thunder Rosa on TV, man. She's just a great baby face. So, like,
I don't know if you guys.
I love me a great baby face, and Thunder Rosa definitely is one. So,
I don't know if you guys would agree with me, but I feel like if they didn't tell the story that they did with Britt and Rosa, Britt will still have the title. It's just that the way they told the story is that they kind of had to give Rosa the title, and since then they just make the Owen more important than the title. I feel like.
Yeah. It's literally like somebody said, like Tony Khan probably looked on Twitter. They were like, "Oh, they're getting kind of tired of Britt. I should probably just go ahead and put the belt on Rosa," and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the best course, because clearly, I don't think they're setting up anything with Thunder and Jade. I would do everything in my power to sign Deonna Purrazzo and have that be, Thunder Rosa's next opponent.
I think that's
her contract up this summer.
It's this fall. I think it's this fall. I believe she signed around Bound for Glory season.
Someone in the chat should
very
probably
loose
Google
memory.
It or something, because there's 72 people in here apparently. So someone,
that's a lot of people.
Well, man is a draw.
Yeah,
I've heard that. I've heard that.
That's true. That's true.
Check the demo, brother. But yeah, I hope we get some follow up with Athena tonight. I liked her debut a lot. I would have shaved a couple minutes from it just because I would have had to sell less, but I liked it. I'll just give me some follow up, and it doesn't have to be a live promo, but you can do something. Do a vignette.
Don't give her a mic.
I know.
She's good. She's good right now.
You could do like a pre-tape, right?
Just something.
It's funny because I think all the women that I do like to watch in AEW, they're all wrestling for the TBS title, and all the people that I don't like are wrestling for the main title. So it's just like, man.
I will say though, like that roster has come a long, long way. In all seriousness, like when they were doing that, when they did the face-off with the baddies versus Chris, Athena, and Anna Jay. Anna Jay's green, but like you look at that group and you're kind of like, that's still leaving out some pretty heavy hitters in that division, and there's some strong talent there. Like, I think Chris Statlander has come so far. I think she should clearly be the one to beat Jade. I've thought that for a long time. I think they kind of are going that direction too.
So that's the thing. I feel like the money feud in the women's division is Jade versus Chris Statlander.
Yeah, I agree.
Like you could really drag that to All Out All Out, and that could be like a premier match. Like actually,
absolutely.
Which is a shame for Thunder, but like I said, like people love stuff like that. You got two, beautiful women. You got two powerhouses in the technical set in the division, and I just feel like that's where the money's at.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you look at Double or Nothing, look at their face-to-face deal. They got a real reaction for that.
Yeah,
like a genuine, as you said, premium match kind of reaction. It's interesting. The pieces are there to do some different stuff with the division. I think obviously it was a good deal that the last pay-per-view had the 3 matches. How much you like each of those, we can debate all day long. I think the World Women's title match was very good, actually. Speaking of such, go ahead, Money.
You think we get an angle tonight with
the champ? I think there's a chance Serena goes after her and they do a stip match to blow off the feud. And I actually think I would probably do that. I know Serena has a frailties as a TV character, but in ring, I'm really confident in her,
She's great, man.
Look,
she's so good in ring.
She's so good.
Just let her wrestle. Yeah.
And they could do a street fight, right? Go ahead, Scott.
I was gonna say she's literally the Dean Malenko of this game.
There you go, yeah.
Like Dean Malenko was terrible on the mic, but got busy in the ring. I would actually do something off the wall. I would give them like a 30-minute Iron Man match.
There you go. So saying a stipulation of some kind, 2 out of 3 falls. You could do something more violent, like the way I went. But whatever you want to do. I mean, I think they've extended enough feuds beyond their sell-by date that, like, you could certainly give this another match. That match was good enough that you can do it. Again, be careful of live promos. And,
give Thunder Rosa an excuse to get color again.
Yeah.
100%.
Rules.
And Serena can go in that direction too. Like that street fight she had with Shida.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Fucking
Beautiful
great.
violence. Beautiful violence.
Yeah, there's something to that. That'd be interesting. What else is happening? So what else are we expecting? Manny, any other kind of loose thoughts on things that could happen, any angles you want to see develop, any New Japan crossover, any kind of broad stroke thoughts on Dynamite tonight?
Not just the battle royale. I just hope the casino is just a whole bunch of like Aaron Solos and all dudes in there, and I hope it's a whole bunch of top guys besides Warlow. Because if it's Warlow, I don't know.
It would be really interesting if it is top guys. Like it would be like one of the least AEW things ever, and I mean that in like a good way because it'd be fun. Like if every time there's a countdown, it's just the top guy.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of like their take on the Rumble. That'd be fucking insane TV, man, wouldn't it?
It'd be awesome because then you can make new stories because that's what they usually do with the casino battle royale. Casino battle royale. It's always new stories at the end of them. So I hope it's a whole bunch of top guys in there and they just spread off to their own mini stories.
How late do you think Tony was up last night?
He hasn't been to sleep.
He's
still been asleep since Punk got hurt. He's still hurting.
He's watching like he's got the Ring of Honor tape library now, and he has them privately. Punk gets in, he gets the call from the doctor, and he just puts in like Punk Joe 2, just sits there for the hour, devastated, pondering what could have been.
You hear him talk about the doctors and that he's got in and stuff. He's like, I've got the best doctor in the world in, and he's going to get working on him right away. We're lucky that we got this doctor in this time frame.
He will never top, dude. He will never top when he paid for the team of experts to investigate Twitter. That is the best he's ever. He claimed it was a whole team. It was fucking unbelievable. He was like, I can't explain it, and then he went on to explain it completely.
Like you just know that, like you see the way that Tony talks about Punk publicly. Just imagine privately, and he heard the news. Dr. Sampson called him and said, "Hey man, Punk has a broken foot." He slammed his table and he just said,
"No, bro,
give me the
I bet he has some.
There's
like, I bet his tantrums are so like. Insanely,
gotta be Sapolsky. Yes.
He's a madman.
Some of those stories are incredible. But I imagine my personal belief is it's never been confirmed. This is merely guesswork. I've always believed that Tony has, like, the AEW Dynamite match graphics. He has those made for him, and he has like 100 matches on his board. There always has to be 100. If one comes off, one goes on. Matches he must book, And and he's looking at it and. He gets the call CM Punk's injured, and there's like 25 Punk matches, and he just tears them all down from the wall, throws them in the bin. It's over. And then he gets told it's like 2 months, and he's like, oh, fuck, reprint those for me.
Imagine him just like seeing that he planned out Tanahashi and Tanahashi Punk, and he's just in the back, just like, fuck, man. He tears the battery down. He says, then he calls New Japan, can we keep Tanahashi win the title? Can he stay the champion? And we're going to book him for All Out.
Yeah, send me some guys. Can we have Bad Luck Fale to wrestle for the title? Tanahashi will do that, right? Tanahashi versus Bad Luck Fale at Korakuen Hall.
He's just he's like, who do you guys want for a month or two until Punk's ready? I'll send you guys. If you let's keep Tanahashi, I'll send you anybody you want. I'll send you 2 for 1s, 3 for 1s. Just let us keep him so I can have the match.
Lance Archer was huge over there, right? Let's do it. Let's put a deal together, you know? It can happen.
He's like, have you heard of the Lucha Bros?
Yes.
And Brody King.
He's gonna when he gets over there, bro. He's gonna have a real run. You know that, right?
Yeah,
they're gonna fall in love with him.
100%.
I can just imagine like TK trying to pitch like the Varsity Blondes to New Japan.
Oh,
I got the Varsity Blondes.
God bless, that rules. He's like, just throw up some 8x10s of Brian Pillman Sr. and you'll be good.
Yeah,
and they'll be into it.
He was like, remember Brian Pillman Sr.? He wrestled Liger. Remember, I have his son.
CM Punk's a big fan, man. I'm telling you, we got to say, this kid's a hell of a prospect. Yeah, maybe. I'm intrigued. Monty, are we forgetting stuff, or is there anything else that we expect to be on tonight's show? Are we learning?
It's because we can't talk about the main event because we don't know who Mox is facing. Yeah. So obviously there's that, but we can't talk about. We spoke about Rosa. We spoke about the Battle Royal. We spoke about. We definitely spoke about Bud Matt and back. Is there anything else? Is there any promo segments or anything else?
I don't know. Manny, what are you thinking, go, pal?
I have to ask y'all, what do you guys feel about that Edge rumor? Because I just saw that post that Finn Balor posted about him. He said
goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye. And it's just
I am genuinely, and I think you'll know this, Manny, because I've talked about it a little bit on the Grin for I've always believed that when his deal's up, that's a thing that could happen. Because my read on it always was by the time he does 3 years, he'll have done everything in WWE that will interest him. I did not realize
WrestleMania again, bro. So.
Exactly, and it's like the one that I talked about earlier this week was, and I've always thought this was possible, is like him and Christian being together and wrestling like the Bucks and FTR would be genuinely exciting for that dude. Now, I don't know how much it does for me, but I think it's very possible. Scotland, where are you out on this? It's very loose rumor, to be clear. But
no, I've always had the idea that Edge, while he was in the talking stages with AEW, I felt like he only did it because more money was offered to him.
Yes,
right. But I if it is a loose rumor, I do think the intrigue of him going to AEW is definitely in the forefront of his mind, especially if he was unhappy with the way that Judgment Day was supposed to go in this supernatural there. And like Monty said, he's done everything already. He's won the Rumble. He's headlined another WrestleMania.
Yeah.
An Edge Christian Young Bucks match would do numbers. Yeah. Hell, even people would go for another Edge Christian Hardy's Boys
Absolutely,
match.
They would. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think stuff like that is definitely. I think there's some truth to it, actually.
Yeah, FTR is a serious relationship. It's okay, man.
I made a joke earlier, imagine just being Edge, just sitting there and just watching the memes of everybody saying he's Christian's a 5-star wrestler.
He sees it too.
Yeah, and I think that's why he blocked me because I just said Christian was better than Edge, and I was just I can just see him because his dream match with Christian was the Bucks and Kenny Omega, and he's just watching Christian wrestle them multiple times already within a year. And I bet you anything it's getting to him and stuff like that because he wants to prove that he can still go and he can't.
It's really interesting. I mean, to be clear again, this is not like a story, so to speak. It's something that people have kind of run with and had fun with. I just think it's interesting because it always made kind of sense to me if he was open to it. He may just want to be there forever, but this current run, man, it ain't doing him much good. Monty, I know you've been very frustrated at times with old Judgment Day Edge. Where do you stand on this whole deal?
That's the only time I've really been truly frustrated with him, to be honest. Even the Miz stuff, it was just kind of okay, he's just getting Beth in to pop himself. And, it was pretty inoffensive, to be honest. But yeah, just the Judgment Day stuff, I think he was just trying to prove that he could do something different instead of just playing the hits, which is, that's at the end of the day, that's what the fans want to see. When someone's been out for that long, we want to see him coming back and playing the hits. So we don't want CM Punk fucking, I don't know, putting a mask on and trying to do lucha. We want him to come out and do his long promos that he does and, be CM Punk. And same with Edge, just want him to come back and do the hit. So this Judgment Day stuff was obviously something that's completely different to... Go on.
I think it was Murph in the group chat that said, imagine if his name was Edge with a 3. Instead, he can't do that. And it just made me laugh so hard because then their names you can use like it'd be so weird. They said Adam Copeland's here. Adam Copeland's here. He speared Luchasaurus. Like, what is he doing here? Like, just like imagine just.
Oh, him wrestling Luchasaurus would be fucking incredible. Could you imagine that sequence? Good lord, man.
My dream match for them is the Lucha Bros because I want to see like how Edge and Christian would handle the Lucha Bros.
Wow, yeah, those
Edge and Penta.
Penta's chops, bro. That's like a whole different living. That's different shit right there. That's crazy. It will be interesting.
Edge Cage. Adam Cage.
Adam Cage.
I think Shoot's one was Adam Edgelord, which popped me tremendously.
Adam the Edge Copeland.
Now you got to go back to the original, man. Sexton Hardcastle.
There you go.
You got to go back to the original, man.
A lot of people are saying what Meech said of Edge Cage, and it's like, are we like pretending they're brothers again? What are we doing with that? Is that what?
Why not?
And they just never say the Cage part.
Imagine.
Because if you hear Christian, when they commentate Christian, they just stop saying Cage. They should just say Christian. 100%. So I'm pretty sure if they did that with Edge, they would just stop saying Edge. No, I mean Cage. But
Edge Cage. That fucking rules. That sounds terrible. All right, that works. Let's do Edge Cage. All right, Scotland. I'll start with you. Any final thoughts, hopes, fears, so forth for Dynamite before we do our plugs and get out here? Anything for Dynamite tonight? Any final thoughts?
Nah, man. I think this is one of those run-of-the-mill type shows. Like, you really can't do much until you figure out who is in the main event against either Tanahashi or Goto. I think next week will be more fulfilling about what we're actually going to get. But this episode is really just the Battle Royal, the main event with Mox, and I don't see anything else happening.
But Matt.
Yeah, I think
but Matt, yeah.
You meant more in terms of angle development, right, and kind of direction. It's about that for tonight. Monty, any final thoughts, pal, on Dynamite?
We won.
Yeah, that was a good final thought. I like that. Good stuff. Manny, anything else on Dynamite, pal?
Not really. Tony Khan posted a cool picture. Of Finley, Regal, and Malenko together.
Oh,
that's all I gotta say.
My God, that's interesting. All right, Manny, we'll stay with you. Plugs, promotions, pal. Where can people follow you on Twitter and all that good stuff? Go ahead.
You can just follow me at MannyBoy3298 on Twitter and on WrestlePurists.
Yes. Speaking of such, unless I am greatly mistaken, no, in about 2-3 days there will be a new feature from Manny, as far as I'm aware, in my internal schedule that I've yet to tell Monty about, as you can see from his facial reactions. But I've got his cover, bro. Don't worry about it. Scotland, any plugs, pal?
Yes. You can follow me on Twitter at Poetic Scotland. You can follow my podcast, the Black Guy Wrestling Podcast. You can also follow my poetry page on Instagram at Scotland_Underwood. And of course, on WrestlePurists.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Scotland is one of our absolute favourites, as we always say.
Some great talents.
Yeah. We did a hell of a job here, putting together this team. Not pat ourselves on the back or anything, right, Monty? What a job we did.
We'd never do such a thing.
No. Put myself over on the air?
No.
I think this is. Come on, egotist. Anyway, Monty, any final plugs, pal?
Yeah, just the usual, WrestlePurists.com, at WrestlePurists on Twitter. Please like and subscribe this video. Well, like the video, subscribe to the channel, of course. And yeah, we'll be back at some point this week. Yeah, that's probably about it. Just the usual, really. Yeah.
Yes.
Of course, we've got features coming out, apparently, according to Joe. So, stay tuned.
There's an anniversary coming up, bro. You don't even know. There's an anniversary coming up.
Oh, pretty sure you guys are back tomorrow, right?
I think there's a different show.
Oh, yeah.
Very different show.
Okay.
Very different.
We'll see what happens. We'll see if Hollywood's free. We should be back tomorrow. We might be back tomorrow anyway with just Rob and Chris, but we'll see what happens. We keep it. Some may call it unorganized. I call it fluid.
I've called it both.
But yeah, please like, subscribe, WrestlePurists.com, at WrestlePurists, and maybe we'll catch you tomorrow.
Yes. Keep grinning, folks.